A Florida woman in prison is causing quite a stir as she ends up pregnant, but she's been in prison since 2022. So somebody's got some splaining to do. In Alabama, the crime spree continues at Bass Pro Shop. Oh, yeah. We're going to tell you all about that. And a Compton bakery targeted by a mob of 100 looters is up for discussion. Yeah. These stories and more coming at you today, Wednesday, January 10th on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agavino. Woody,
what's up? I gotta get my cash out.
I think we might as well get this over with and take the abuse that we are going to take.
Oh, Mike really does have cash.
I do have cash.
I think I'm going to turn. Can I turn Alexander Hamilton into Jim Harbaugh, maybe with some glasses? Some glasses here.
That was a straight up beat
a bad hat.
Although I lost the power last night. Hey, we hope all you lifers stayed safe from all the bad weather, and I know it's going all the way to North Carolina and shit. Just bad times. Lost power about 9 o'clock and got it about 4 o'clock this morning.
Fast pay, fast pals.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Jesus, did I get my ass handed to me last night?
Looks just like Jim Harbaugh.
A lot of people don't mention that, but Alexander Hamilton and Harbaugh.
We'll redo it for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you guys bow your heads?
Yep. Take my hat off.
Your heads bowed. Going to do a little moment of silence.
I'm ready.
Thank you.
Right.
That was for Cindy Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
Cindy Morgan.
Caddyshack.
Better known as Lacey Underalls.
Oh.
Caddyshack.
Lacey Underalls passed away.
Yeah. Really?
At the tender age of 69.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Some might have bet that she would have passed away at 69, yeah. But Lacey always loved. She was Judge Smales' niece,
right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I remember distinctly.
Chevy got a little bit of that, right?
Yes, he did.
And the kid got.
And was talking about. I love going to bullfights on acid. That's the scene right before he.
He's such a dork now, but he was so cool in that. I mean, he had a couple of movies where that and Fletch. I mean, okay, that's a career. Just do that movie and Fletch. And you know who else we lost? Very bummed about this one. Hutch. Starsky lost Hutch.
Really?
David Soul.
I used to love that car, the red and white. That had the
Gran Torino.
Yeah, it was a Gran Torino. Yeah. Red had the white stripes on it.
It's a badass car.
Probably.
Rest in peace, you guys.
Yep. That was some good original crime fighters, and let's get down to some
true
crime time for Wednesday, Hump Day.
All right, a woman who has been in a Florida county jail since 2022 is pregnant.
Oh,
yeah. It's not hard to put them dots together.
I don't think they have artificial insemination.
Well, we're going to get into it. Daisy Link, 28, called her family on Christmas Day to say she was almost 4 months pregnant.
Oh, Lord.
Link is being held at the Turner Knight Correctional Center in Miami-Dade on a charge of second-degree murder. She is also charged with battery by a detainee on a visitor or other detainee. Her case has not gone to trial yet, but Link's criminal defense attorney said that the second-degree murder charge stems from a domestic violence incident in which Link fired a single shot while attempting to protect herself from an abusive partner. She shared photos of Link with blood on her shoulders and head that were the result of abuse that Link had endured days before she fired that weapon in June of 2022. The attorney had been trying to get Link released on house arrest, especially now that she's pregnant. She says she doesn't know how she got pregnant. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can.
Yeah.
Let me help you with that. You may need a new attorney if she can't figure that one out.
Immaculate conception.
Right. The allegations right now are that it's another inmate. The county jail houses male and female inmates separated by floor. I guess they noted that so people wouldn't think it was a
Maybe they
CO.
drilled a hole in the floor and made it a glory hole.
Reports were published, and get this is where it gets interesting. Reports were published that suggested the pregnancy may have been the result of a male inmate passing semen through an air-conditioned vent.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works.
I don't know if that trick's going to work.
Super swimmers, yeah.
And her attorney did confirm that she doesn't believe that story either.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
She's got a sharp attorney, it seems. Link said she had been trying to tell jail officials about her pregnancy earlier. They laughed at her. They told her, "You've been here for 2 years. Who are you going to be pregnant by? Aliens?" Her attorney said they were mocking her.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. That's right.
Miami-Dade Corrections said it's seen no evidence that the pregnancy was a result of a sexual assault. Nobody should come out pregnant in jail. This is really ridiculous, her attorney said. We're just worried about Daisy and her well-being, her safety, and the safety of her unborn child. So they're investigating that.
Yeah, they're going to find something.
Trying to figure out who, and it could have been, a CO, or it could have been another inmate.
That's right.
Well,
the taxpayers are going
somebody did it.
Taxpayers are going
to you can take that air conditioning unit apart.
Yeah. Put the blue light on it.
Might as well rip the plumbing up too. They could have used the plumbing.
Maybe she called it from the toilet seat.
I can't believe they tried to say the air conditioning passing.
I love that.
It's
crazy.
Idea. That's a good one. All right, so last week I told y'all about one of my favorite hangouts, Bass Pro Shops, and I just go to them just because I just like being there. It's kind of a happy place.
Look, it's a tourist spot,
right? And
those parking lots are always full of cars.
Yep, absolutely. And so, but the crime spree continues at the Bass Pro Shops. And there's still a man on the loose running around with a 50-pound tarpon somewhere, which I told y'all about last week. Yep. Now an Alabama man has joined in on the fun. This time, rather than netting a fish, the man decided to become a fish. A Sterrett, Alabama man has been arrested after he ran a car into a pole outside the Leeds Bass Pro Shop. He then took his clothes off and ran inside the store, where he jumped into the indoor pond, right? Oh, my. So this all happened on Thursday night, and the police chief said they've responded to the Bass Pro Shop and just before 9 p.m., and his name's Irwin. He said the 42-year-old man had intentionally struck a pole in the parking lot with his family in the car. He then ran inside, took off his clothes, and jumped into the Bass Pro Shop pond. Witnesses said he shouted, "Cannonball!" as he made his leap. It's very unfortunate that people like this aren't receiving the treatment they need, the chief said. The man who has since been identified as George Owens was taken into custody and is charged with public lewdness, disorderly conduct, assault in the second degree, resisting arrest, 2 counts of reckless endangerment, and 2 counts of criminal mischief. Now, the Real Life Real Crime Daily I-team was on location when this happened and is reporting that the water in the Bass Pro Shops aquarium must be very cold.
No,
I mean,
George.
very, very cold. Something Mr. Owens might have considered before his performance, because if you look at the video, you can't see his penis.
Oh.
I mean, it's like a vanilla wafer.
Doesn't exist.
But anyway, his ass locked up.
Probably not the crime he should have committed.
Yeah. I mean, now Jim did it.
Yeah. How to raise the water level.
They would have had 2 problems: the man in the pool and who's going to catch the snake. Okay.
There's an electric eel in there.
These 2 incidents have got to have given tens of millions of impressions across social media for Bass Pro Shops.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Do you think anybody's?
I don't think anybody's behind it. I mean, he crashed into a pole with his family in a car. And
yeah.
But
it could just become a TikTok thing.
Yeah, that's why when I first saw it, I thought it's going to be a copycat because he wants to get TikTok stuff. But evidently, he had some issues. You crash into a pole with your family in a car and just run inside.
Yeah, the pole thing. Yeah. But I saw the other day, and I couldn't believe how quickly this stuff goes viral. But somebody started this thing on TikTok where you just show up at your grandparents' house for a sleepover.
Really?
Just like so particularly older kids who used to sleep at grandma's but haven't done it in like 10 years or whatever. The cousins all get together, just show up and knock on grandma's door and have a sleepover. And these grandparents are thrilled. I mean, the smiles, the cries, everything. It's really touching.
It's a good idea.
But they just rack up the views on these videos. And from a marketing perspective, if you're working for a company like that, I mean, it's earned media. It's free.
Right.
Be the next person to come up with a good Bass Pro Shops bit.
I've been thinking that we need our own version of Baba Booey to put out to our fans and give them to start video and sell golf tournaments.
Here, I got one. I got one we could do. All right. Okay. So I put on a deer costume.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and come by my house.
I put on a deer costume.
Process like
and
7 deers.
I run into the Bass Pro Shops in my deer costume, and you come in all your hunter's gear behind me.
Right.
And and give me some kind of arrow in the butt or something that's not going to hurt that bad, but that would get.
If I shoot you, I'm going to kill you.
Arrow.
I don't know
takes
how
all the fun out
I don't
of
know
it. You
how
can
not
kill
to
me.
kill.
He's a compound bow arrow in the butt. Go right through
We'll
you.
get you one with the suction on the arrow, right?
Yeah.
No,
One
what
of
would be
those.
funnier
Look
is
at him sleep.
if he just ran in there and then we were like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah, right. And
Goes
go
in there and
afterward.
yeah, we just leave.
filming.
Oh, you just left me running around like a deer in the Bass Pro Shop?
That's funny.
Yeah, shooting me would be better, but all right, we'll have to work on that. I think.
Well, they have the Stanley Cup thing going on right now, which I think is a genius marketing move with these pink cups that Stanley. Woody's looking at me. You're not familiar
I
with
haven't
it?
seen that. Yeah.
Oh, bruh.
At first, I thought it was hockey because it's Stanley
Yeah,
Cup.
no.
It's
Stanley has come up with this genius marketing plan where
So,
they are
like
going after
Stanley the tool
female
company?
Stanley, the thermos company.
Oh, yeah. So I saw someone on Facebook, somebody said that you can give me
$750 million in pink thermoses.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those.
Going after that female audience.
That's
what they're doing.
Genius.
Yeah, but the thing is now they're selling for like triple the price and quadruple the price, and everybody's taking pictures as they buy one.
I might still have
so
one
they're
somewhere.
they're viral everywhere, and this is so Stanley sitting back, and they're counting dollars.
Shit, my shit's like
It's one
30 years
stupid
old.
idea, It's like our egg thing or the ice bucket deal a few years ago.
Right.
Okay.
I remember that.
Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Hey y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. real. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference God will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes, plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
Let's go to the city of Compton.
Compton,
home of
straight out of
Eazy-E.
Compton.
Home of many
Yeah.
great talents. A mob of over 100 looters purposely crashed a Kia into a small bakery in Compton, California, and ransacked the store last week. The thieves had gathered in the area for an illegal street takeover around 3 a.m. on Tuesday, January 2nd. As that was wrapping up, they made a mile-long trek to Reuben's Bakery and Mexican food.
Really?
It's an interesting combo, the Reuben's
I'd
Bakery
have
and
gone for
Mexican
the
food.
tortillas.
When they got to the locked store, a white Kia backed through the front doors of the business, clearing an entryway for the crowd to grab the loot. Security footage captured the chaotic scene in the store as the mob filled their arms and pockets with as much as they could before the store was virtually emptied. The majority of the looters wore masks to conceal their identities. Police received 2 calls about a car on fire and a street takeover outside the bakery just before the looting began. Residents of the neighborhood say they don't feel safe while the crime continues in the Southern California city. Local politicians are looking to push back on the frequency of illegal street takeovers following the looters' path of destruction at the bakery. Ensuring the safety of businesses and residents in our city is our top priority, Compton Mayor Emma Sharif said at a city council meeting on Tuesday night, just hours after the bakery break-in. During the meeting, Sharif urged the city council members to sign an ordinance that would increase citations for those involved in street takeovers. We need to vote on this so that we can actually start implementing the changes that have been made in the policy. But not everyone is happy with the government's response, with many residents frustrated by the lack of action. They've been out there running amok, tearing our streets up. One frustrated resident said, "It's just like, when is this stuff going to stop? So sick and tired of hearing this crap every single day," another cried during the public comment section. The takeovers have been a problem across L.A. for the past few years, with city and county officials trying different methods to thwart the gatherings. But they've been unsuccessful. Ruben Ramirez Jr., who is the son of the owners of Reuben's Bakery, he said his parents opened the store nearly 50 years ago. 48 to be exact, and to almost lose it because of this violence that's going on right now is crazy. They were forced to close the store for several days, but the looters caused over $70,000 worth of damage, but a GoFundMe raised almost $80,000 and allowed the family
I only have one problem
to keep the store
with
going.
the story. Why a bakery? I mean, how much money can you get out of a bakery?
I know that's.
I mean, I'd go for the tortillas made of fresh miles or whatever, but it's a bakery, dude. You're getting cupcakes and brownies and shit.
Well,
It's not like you're breaking into a Rolex store.
A definite Latino lean to the bakery, so it's got a lot more stuff there than just those kind of things.
But it's all worth a couple dollars a piece. It's not like you're stealing Rolex.
Well, it was $70,000. Oh, plus they stole equipment. They stole cash registers,
okay.
stuff out of the business
Still
office.
not my first choice of place to rob. Anyway, street takeover shit.
Maybe they're
I'm
starting
going
to
for
run
like
out
an
of.
electronics place. If
I'm going for a firearm store.
Oh yeah,
Get all the guns.
yeah. Good point.
Good shit. Probably no
I
federal
don't know
police
how
in the
many
bakery.
of those are left in L.A.
Yeah. Well, they can go to Bass Pro and do it.
That's it.
Bass Pro's got all kinds of guns.
The closest Bass Pro to L.A. is probably
Yeah,
100
it's
miles,
probably not a lot
100
of
miles
hunting,
away.
Not a lot of hunting and fishing in LA.
You got to go towards San Bernardino or up toward the mountains. I don't know. Poor Compton.
Even Walmart. I mean, anything.
Yep.
Anything's better than bread. I mean, I love bread. But I don't get it.
I don't get it either. A Tennessee man is accused of fatally hitting his wife in the head with a hammer and burying her body the next day.
There you have it.
So we're going to bring you some, some
Should have got a divorce.
deep crime right now. And look, we've talked a lot about these older gentlemen and these older ladies killing each other at the twilight of their life.
Right.
Well, this is such. A 70-year-old man is in custody on suspicion of fatally striking his 76-year-old wife in the head with a hammer in their Nashville home and then burying her body on one of their properties in another county. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation issued a silver alert for Jackie Glenn, who was last seen January 1st. She reportedly suffered from a medical condition that impaired her ability to return safely without assistance. In an update, the Tennessee Bureau announced Glenn was dead in Smithville. The victim's husband, Joseph Glenn, killed his wife in Nashville on January 1st and then drove her body to another county the next day where he buried her remains. Officials found the victim's body buried in a hole on their property, and they located her car nearby. The victim's body was reportedly deep down inside a plastic cargo box with roofing shingles and dirt layered on top. During the interview with police, Joseph Glenn confessed to the fatal attack. And here's where it gets kind of, red flaggy. The suspect reportedly hired a contractor to dig the burial hole weeks before his wife's death.
I was going to say.
Now, he wasn't digging it himself.
How hard it is to dig a hole? Shit.
So on December 16th, Glenn told the contractor the large hole was intended as a burn pit. After his wife's death, the suspect tossed the hammer he used to kill her into a community center lake. Glenn also sold some of the victim's possessions and tried to sell their DeKalb County property, but the real estate agent he tried to contact was out of town. So he's doing all this within days of her missing. More red flags. Glenn told his wife's children she was terminally ill and planned to leave him. However, the victim's medical provider said that was not true. On January 6th, police arrested Glenn on charges of criminal homicide, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence, and he is in jail on over $1 million bond.
There you have it. Hey, shout out to my
70 years old.
Shout out to my homies in TBI. You know you are. Love y'all. Good bunch of people. 70 years old.
70 years old and sad. With a hammer, man.
One thing about all these cases with old people is they all get caught because they're not that swift.
Yeah, they don't cover their tracks too well.
They hire the contractor to dig the grave.
Yeah, I'm calling my real estate agent.
Burying her on his property.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's, when I said it's hard to dig a hole, I mean a hole big enough to put a body in. Yeah. It's just hard. I'm not going to tell you that I ever did it.
Especially when the ground's hard, and the ground would be hard there in mid-December.
Right, it might have rocks and shit in it. So I'm sure I had to bring in an excavator or something and dig this big old hole. Are you really putting
in a burn pit?
Yeah, you really putting in a burn pit, homie? I doubt it. So
build burn pits above ground, typically.
Right.
I mean, not below it. Strange.
Let me bring you back to the great state of Louisiana. Right? And the Louisiana high school teachers.
Pelican State.
The Pelican State, the sportsman's paradise.
Sportsman's paradise.
A Louisiana high school teacher is accused of sexually abusing a 15-year-old boy and inappropriately touching him in her car with her baby in the back seat.
Jeez.
Tatum Hatch, 32, told the boy she wanted to be the first person to have sex with him. Hatch of West Monroe was arrested and charged with computer-aided solicitation of a minor. The teacher's alleged actions came to light in December when the West Monroe Police Department contacted the Wichita. Say it for me, Joe. Wichita Parish Sheriff's Office about
Ouachita. Sorry.
Parish Sheriff's Office about a student who came forward about Hatch. The boy's father said that his son confided in him about a sexual relationship with Hatch, saying it had been going on for the past year and a half. So he's like 13 and a half when it started. The boy's father had proof of the relationship from sexually explicit Instagram messages that were screen recorded, according to court documents. Hatch allegedly wanted the boy to sneak into her bedroom window, saying she believed it was safer for him to come to her house rather than meeting at his house. You think? When the boy told her he felt scared, she said she was worried that he would find someone else to be the first person he had sex with. Yes. On December 16, 2023, police interviewed Hatch, who admitted that she spoke to the boy on Instagram Messenger. The day before, Hatch was placed on admin leave from her job at West Monroe High School, and she resigned her position. She is scheduled to return to court on Friday. Now, I saw the picture of this genius. No excuse.
She wanted to be his first.
Yeah, no excuse.
Sentimental.
She already had a baby in the car. I mean,
well, he wanted her to be his first too, but that wasn't really possible.
I mean, you know,
rape.
People, it is always rape.
Disgusting.
You're right, and people say, "Oh, well, when I was a boy, you know, I wanted to do my teachers and all that shit." And I get that, but it's still rape.
Not at 13. You don't want to do your teachers at 13. I mean,
Swim good.
you're starting to maybe think about it, but I think
I hope my teachers aren't listening. But this
scared.
is rape. This is rape. There's a difference between putting them in the spank bank and having sex with
Yes.
her. And I don't know. It's crazy. Right?
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Lock her up.
Lock her up.
Lock her up. Lock her up. Either of you guys remember the book or the movie Gone Girl?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually read the book.
Well, the movie features Jim's favorite actor, Ben Affleck.
It's definitely not my favorite actor.
You told me he was.
Yeah.
And,
Not Ben
and
Affleck.
your favorite Hollywood couple, Bennifer. Isn't that what they call it?
I do
Bennifer?
like Jennifer Lopez.
I love Jennifer Lopez.
Well, Ben plays the husband, and he becomes the prime suspect in the disappearance of his wife. And then a moral panic is stoked by the media and police pressure, and the story becomes, like a top tabloid story, as everyone assumes that Affleck's character has killed his wife until she returns home, saying she had been kidnapped and escaped only after murdering the man who had held her captive. Well, spoiler alert: the wife, who's played by Britt Rosamund Pike. Former Bond girl, Rosamund Pike.
There you go.
The very lovely Rosamund Pike. Staged the entire ordeal, and she gets away with it in the movie. The movie came out in 2014, and so just 1 year later, in 2015, a couple in Vallejo, California became known as the Gone Girl hoaxers when the girlfriend was supposedly abducted from their home. Denise Huskins and Aaron Quinn became known as the Gone Girl hoaxer couple after she was abducted from their home in Vallejo, California. For 2 days, the then 29-year-old Huskins was drugged and raped by her abductor in a remote house before eventually being released in an alley next to her parents' home. The investigators in the case did not believe the far-fetched story Quinn and Huskins told. The story started with a 911 call from Quinn saying, "My girlfriend Denise got kidnapped last night." The operator immediately asks him why he did not call when it happened. And he said, "I was tied up." The couple, who were both physiotherapists, had been asleep in bed at the time of the intrusion. Quinn explained the shocking series of events to investigators. "I wake up. There's a bright light blinding us. A taser goes off, and I see a guy wearing a wetsuit. They asked Denise to tie my hands behind my back. The perpetrator brandished a gun before playing a pre-recorded message that made it seem as if there was more than one kidnapper there. The terrified pair were then drugged and blindfolded with blacked-out goggles before Huskins was bundled into a car trunk and driven nearly 500 miles away."
If he's blacked out, how does he know she's bundled into a car trunk?
Because this is 2023. We're now telling this story.
Okay.
Back. Police arrived at the scene to find blood spattered throughout the house.
Spatter.
Spattered.
SPATTER.
Yeah, spattered.
Okay. You good?
I did. You taught me. I said spattered.
Oh, you're right.
They make mistakes in all kinds of police shows on TV. I've noticed. So blood was spattered throughout the house, zip ties, toy guns, and even a blow-up doll, whatever the hell the blow. Lord. Questions began to swirl about who could be behind Huskins' disappearance, and suspicion immediately fell on Quinn, the boyfriend. Police became aware of a recent argument between the couple, and that just heightened these suspicions more. The police focused solely on Quinn. They interrogated Quinn intensely to try to get him to confess. In the meantime, someone was demanding $15,000 in ransom for Huskin's safe return. 2 days later, her captor inexplicably dropped her off in an alley outside of her parents' home. But Huskin's release only made observers more suspicious. Many said that it was proof that the couple had lied, and they were inundated with comments on social media from trolls who believed the entire thing was a hoax. Even the Vallejo Police Lieutenant Kenny Park said as much in a press conference after Huskins resurfaced. Quote, "We were not able to substantiate any of the things that he was saying. If anything, it is Mr. Quinn and Ms. Huskins that owe this community an apology," he said. The news coverage was heavily skeptical, with commentators saying things like, "I've never heard of a case where the kidnappers drop off their victim at the front door of the house." The case, however, took another shocking turn when a guy by the name of Matthew Mueller, age 41, who was a disbarred lawyer, turned himself into police months later. He pleaded guilty to the crime and revealed that he had been watching the couple in their home with drones for several months. Huskins testified in court that Mueller had treated her like an animal and raped her, explaining, "You flopped me around the bed like a rag doll." She said of the harrowing assault, "I told myself no matter what he does, I'm not going to beg and scream. If it's the last moments that I'm going to be living, I'm just going to stay calm and be grateful for the life I had." Mueller, who's a former Marine, told prosecutors that he suffered from bipolar disorder and was medicated when he abducted Huskins. He pleaded guilty to federal kidnapping charges and was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
So it's a legit deal.
So it's a legit deal. The couple ended up suing the police department and getting $2.5 million. And this is all very timely because Netflix on January 17th premieres American Nightmare, which is the story of Huskins and Quinn and this incident and how it went down. So that's
crazy.
January 17th.
Dude is watching with
Netflix.
drones? How's that even work?
Fly them over and
Well, I mean, maybe the curtains were open.
Keeping up with their comings and goings.
That would suck.
$2.5
That really
million.
sucks for the cops. I mean, because my whole time I was like bullshit meters through the roof, but then I would interrogate the fuck out of them. And I don't know. That's crazy.
January 17th, Netflix.
And then
American Nightmare.
I don't know how they didn't send her for a SANE kit, a sexual assault examination, and find out that she was raped and shit. So they really dropped the ball. I mean, you could
and
tell.
Vallejo is sort of like between San Francisco and Napa.
Yeah,
it's not a rural. I mean, you would think they would have sophisticated law enforcement there. I think they were just so sure that this was a
bad
hoax
case of television. Bad case.
Mile high crime time.
Mile high time, y'all.
And look, we've had a mile high situation going on for the past several days, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with the Alaskan Airlines plane that the door had blown off mid-flight.
I wasn't aware of that, but I saw some dude said he found a phone.
They found a phone. They found. They actually found
the door.
The door, itself. And we're gonna kind of tell you all about this case. And speaking of finding missing parts, the missing part of an Alaska Airlines aircraft that blew off mid-flight has been found in the backyard in Portland. A Portland school teacher named Bob reached out to the agency after he found a missing Boeing 737 fuselage door plug in his yard. That's something. Yeah, you go out there to pick up limbs. And what's this freaking plane door doing, right? Federal investigators have been searching for the door plug since it blew off an Alaskan Airlines aircraft after taking off from Portland on Friday, leading to the nationwide grounding of certain Boeing 737 aircraft and a slew of flight cancellations. The agency had asked for the public's help finding the part and had plans of possibly using a helicopter or drones to continue searching for it Sunday. They had explained locating the missing part would provide key clues to why it had separated from the aircraft. Federal investigators earlier had released the first image from inside the aircraft that was left with a refrigerator-sized hole mid-flight. And it shows a headrest torn from a nearby seat and oxygen mask still hanging from the plane's ceiling. No passengers during the flight were seated directly next to the section of the plane that blew off. That is just sheer coincidence and luck. Yeah.
You remember a couple of years ago when like a window blew out or something, that woman got sucked out. And it's like half in and half out. I mean,
well, the whole door flying off.
Yeah,
they definitely would have been.
They must have all still been seat belted in or something.
Right. Well, that's exactly right. As a matter of fact, one of the reports was saying they were still, gaining altitude, so they weren't at cruising level, so the buckle your seatbelt sign was on. Nobody was walking around.
Nobody was going to the shitter.
That's exactly right. The refrigerator's sized hole that suddenly opened up in the aircraft, carrying 177 people from Portland, Oregon.
So it was pretty full. So surprising, those seats happened to be empty.
Right. It sent panic throughout the plane as the cabin depressurized, oxygen mask descended, and passengers screamed and texted their goodbyes to family. The plane landed safely with no serious injury. Shout out to that airline pilot. The ordeal resulted in the FAA's decision they basically just grounded certain Boeing 737 MAX 9 aircraft until they were completely inspected and, for those door issues. Alaska Airlines said Saturday night that emergency inspections of its fleet of Boeing planes will take more time. So this is causing, a major issue with travel, obviously. Right. Now, let me tell you, and this is coming from passengers who were on the plane kind of describing these accounts. The plane had taken off. It had reached 16,000 feet. And then the plane was airborne for only about 20 minutes when a boom, the fuselage plug, which looks like the typical interior of a commercial jet from inside the airplane, blew off the plane, sucking items out of the aircraft. Some planes have intentional openings that can be covered with a plug or an emergency door, depending on the seating configuration. Miraculously, no one was sitting in 26A and 26B.
It's crazy. That's the first seat I get for the extra leg room.
Yeah, well, the two planes' seats right next to the plug door, which blew off, and there were no passengers sitting there. The force of the depressurization of the passenger cabin ripped headrests and cushions completely off. Clothes were also scattered throughout the area. Seat assemblies were twisted, oxygen masks dangling, and there was a piece of clothing caught up in the hole by the missing door plug. What prevented a more disastrous outcome was that it happened before the plane reached cruising altitude, as we said. So, nobody's walking around at that point. Passenger Nick Hosh described the boom before the plane jolted. He said he was sitting in his seat and the oxygen mask fell and everybody basically started freaking out. There were people much closer who I spoke to who lost AirPods out of their ears, he said. So miraculously, there were very few injuries, just a few scrapes, if nothing else. But wow, can you imagine?
Yeah, dude. I was on it.
That's about as close to coming to dying without dying.
Playing one time and I got hit by lightning, and I thought we were going to die.
Freaky, yeah.
And I can imagine the whole door.
I couldn't either.
The thing that I didn't understand is this actually wasn't a door. It was to the passengers in the plane, it doesn't appear as a door. It's completely convertible so that if they decide to go with a different seating configuration on the plane, they can do some retro work to turn that into a door. Okay. So basically,
it's like a plug.
Basically, it's plugged up and appears as just a regular window when it was actually is a door.
That's crazy.
And so the other thing I didn't realize is that that Boeing, who makes this aircraft, and by the way, this is a brand new plane, just delivered this summer.
Somebody forgot to tighten them.
Brand new plane. Is that Boeing manufactures the airframe, and there are hundreds of vendors providing product that goes into the finished aircraft. Yeah. And so there are all kinds of different vendors that could have delivered something defective.
Right.
And so now they've got to ground this entire fleet. It's like 120 planes.
That's crazy.
Until they can figure out what the defect is. But thank God it didn't happen, because if it did,
177 souls would be dead.
I mean, they'd all.
It's serious. I could not imagine being on a plane and be freaking a piece of the plane fly out. And again, shout out to that pilot who apparently did not panic and just, he went into his mode and his zone and landed that plane regardless.
Crazy.
Because that was, I'm sure, a lot of panic. So that is your Mile High Crimes for today.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Yeah. We go again. Kinky crimes for hump day. Now, y'all, we've been talking about this a lot lately. Women cutting off men's junk.
Every time we turn around.
Yeah. But this one was in
becoming a habit.
In North Carolina. A 56-year-old North Carolina woman was arrested this week after being accused of tying up her husband and then cutting off his penis.
Tying him up first.
Right. Victoria, maybe it was a little role play.
Might have been a little kinky game going on.
Until the knife came out. Victoria Frabutt, no pun intended, Frabutt. Victoria Frabutt was detained on Tuesday morning by officers from the county sheriff's office. Officers responded to the woman's home shortly after 4 a.m. after the victim, James Frabutt, reported that he had been assaulted. The husband told police his wife had restrained him before pulling out a knife. Let me stop right here. I'm pretty sure I'm not letting anybody restrain me.
Yeah, unless you're playing a kinky game.
No. I ain't even playing that kinky game.
You're doing the restraint.
Daddy got to have some control.
I got you.
I'm afraid that somebody's going to do something, right? So anyway.
You're in control of the red room.
Yeah. Safety words be damned on that. But here we go. So the husband told his wife had restrained him before pulling out a knife. Investigators said the man's penis was severed. That makes me cringe. But the motive for the alleged castration remains unclear. But the department's probe, no pun intended, is ongoing. Deputies were able to recover the dismembered penis It was immediately put on ice and transported to medical personnel. The victim, who is 61 years old, was... I don't even know why they put this in these articles. He was taken to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
When
When your dick is chopped off, you need to go to the hospital?
Might have been the same dude that was at Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe so. They couldn't miss it.
I
don't know
what's going on with these penis choppings.
Cousins. I don't know, boy.
You know, Lorraine and Bob, it went like 10
you don't ever
years
hear
before
about a
another
vagina
person tried
chopping.
that. Yeah.
Right? I mean, no man chopping off a vagina.
No.
It's concerning because this is becoming a trend.
Yeah. Well, that's a trend I don't want to be a part
Becoming
of.
a way to solve problems, it sounds like.
It's coming way to go.
You might want to go with the Woody
A lot
rule
of these
there,
ladies.
and
I'm
you know,
pretty
unless
sure.
you have 1,000% trust in that person tying you up.
And sometimes that doesn't work either. That's your kinky cries for Wednesday.
Wow. Man, they got to come up with another solution to
Yeah, right.
solve those
Just don't
problems.
cut it off.
God. Can't imagine.
All right. So, I've been waiting here some banjos all week long.
There they are. A little Scandinavian flair to those bands.
Are you allowed Scandinavian?
What?
Is he allowed Scandinavian?
It's a dumb
I
criminal
don't know.
story.
I don't know if we ever. I guess we could.
Yeah, but
Here,
we'll
look,
give you
this-
a pass.
this story-
We're not trying to get you in
Geography-
trouble
Th-
before.
This story you're going to want me to tell.
Okay.
I can't believe this freaking story. And
There's
this
some
is
beautiful
this
people
is
over there.
well, they may be beautiful, but
Tough people.
but their laws are fucking stupid. Let's go to a country that I thought had very little crime, Norway. Perhaps it's not that they have little crime,
Good
and
spirit.
it's more that they do little about the crime they do have, based upon this story. Convicted Norwegian mass murderer Anders Breivik is set to appear in court this week. It was Breivik's second attempt to sue the Norwegian state for allegedly breaching his human rights. Here's a little dossier on Breivik. In July of 2011, Breivik killed 8 people in a bomb attack in Oslo before heading to a youth camp
I remember
dressed as a police officer where he stalked and gunned down 69 people, mostly teenagers. The guy's got, quick math, 8 and 69. He's got 77 kills, this guy.
7 DBs.
The following year, Breivik was handed the maximum sentence of 21 years
Oh, my God.
with a clause that's rarely used in Norway's justice system. The clause said that he could be held indefinitely if he was still considered a danger to society. Okay. So this killer of 77 people appeared before a judge in Oslo last month, claiming that his solitary confinement since being imprisoned in 2012 amounts to inhumane treatment under the European Convention of Human Rights.
I should put him in general population.
Believe it or not, Breivik is being held. Listen to where he's being held. In a 2-story complex with a kitchen, dining room, and a TV room with an Xbox and several armchairs. He also has a fitness room with
Several
weights,
armchairs.
a treadmill, and a rowing machine. He also enjoys the company of 3 parakeets that fly around his complex on a daily basis. Even so, his lawyer, Øystein Storvik, says it is impossible for Breivik, who now goes by the name Fjotolf Hansen, I don't know how the guy fucking changed his name, to have any meaningful relationships with anyone in the outside world. Well, when you kill 77 of them, that can happen. He adds that
I don't want a meaningful relationship.
he adds that preventing his client from sending letters is another breach of his human rights. A similar claim made by Breivik in 2016 was accepted, but the case was later rejected by the European Court of Human Rights that refused to hear the case. Breivik sought parole in 2022, but was judged to not have shown any signs of having been rehabilitated.
Too busy.
The European
PlayStation.
Court of Human Rights has now agreed to hear this latest case this week based upon the accusation that his rights are being violated. If the court agrees that his rights have been violated, it can rule against the state and order them to pay compensation or even release him. Norway. what the fuck? You've earned the first dumb criminals award for having the dumbest laws I've ever heard. Kill 77 people and live like a rock star on the state's dime and then file suit.
Couple thoughts. One, what the fuck? Several armchairs, 3 parakeets, and a PlayStation. Xbox. They should release his ass in general population in bloody Angola and see how long he lasts after he killed all his kids and shit. And I imagine any of us, if it was our kids and they released them, we'd taken a murder by you.
Yeah, it's shocking that he only got that amount of time.
21 years as the maximum sentence for killing 77 people.
I agree.
Did they have the death penalty?
Obviously not.
No. What could you do that's worse than killing 77 people?
Right.
I mean,
he got maximum sentence 21 years.
That's crazy.
I have people more years for that than for burglary.
Well, he gets banjos for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
some big Scandinavian banjos for these morons.
Hey, Dad, we love our Norway lifers, by the way.
Set them free. Just don't let them come.
I know y'all didn't make the laws. Yeah.
Well, Norway don't play usually.
Right? I don't know. I don't get it.
It's Vikings right there.
Right.
Yeah. Remember that female police officer that took down that guy that was shoplifting in Norway? We covered a story.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Way back at the beginning, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
And
beautiful people.
Would that shoplifter get 3 days?
They would probably.
Yeah.
They probably.
A couple of parakeets.
Probably a fine.
They probably
Living in a
gave him some
mansion.
extra days on his life.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that is. Who knew? I figured Norway would be very strict on their stuff. But what's the country where the guy was getting caned? The kid.
Thailand or somewhere.
No.
Wasn't it India?
No.
It was Bangkok. It was somewhere.
It was Sweden or something. Or
I think it was more in the southern,
somebody will tell
beaches
us on
and shit
here.
are.
Yeah. But that country is so strict. I mean, he did graffiti or something and ended up getting caned for it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's right. Take your lick, bitch. Don't believe my being graffiti
Little American
anymore.
coming over here spray painting.
We're going to show you something.
That's it.
All right.
Woody, any final thoughts?
Let's see. Naturally love and appreciate each and every one of you. Please continue to like and share. Y'all go check out.
Well, I just thought of a thought.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to tell them probably what you were about to, which is check out the original from this week.
Oh, yeah, with Karen Chala.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting interview.
Yeah.
But I had it because I know I watch her investigative stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she takes on shit nobody takes on. And then I went back and started watching. Y'all were talking about Karen Chala Unfiltered, and now she has a podcast which is being produced
Louisiana Unfiltered.
Louisiana Unfiltered. But I forgot about all the good stories she does. And then I started watching some shit. It just blows your mind.
Oh, yeah.
And I also forgot that she's doing real news all day long, every day. It could be traffic jams to whatever, her and her team. Mm-hmm. But, man, y'all listen to the episode this Thursday on Allie Rice on the murder, which I think I need to cover and maybe I can collaborate with her on it. Still an unsolved murder, beautiful young student from LSU. Yeah. But anyway, Karen is fire, and we did do a Real Life Real Crime original, which dropped last Saturday.
Yeah, it's all good, John.
And go check out her Louisiana Unfiltered.
Yep, definitely.
And give them a review and a like and a follow. And tell them Real Life Real Crime sent you.
That's right.
But check out our daily page on, because Jim and Mike work so hard on that thing. On a lot of our stories, they have the the pictures of these bad guys.
Yeah, we just posted a video of the fish.
Yeah.
Getting hijacked out of Bass, bro.
And shared and continue liking all that good podcaster shit. But we do love and appreciate y'all.
I just want to say 1 year ago today, I lost my beloved Deuce, 15 years old. Yeah. And at the time, I was not aware of Louisiana Pet Crematory. And so I don't have the urn I wish I had with Deuce's ashes in it. I do have a different one that I got from an inferior place. But if you lose a loved one, a furry loved one, make sure you visit our friends up in Broussard at Louisiana Pet.
And hey, look,
They will take care of you.
Yeah, they took care of your family. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the great people underneath the giant American flag in Broussard.
Yep.
The real quick on it, y'all. Everybody continues to send me all these cases. They want me to work on their families. Y'all send the information. I've said this many times, but because y'all send it to all these different Facebook pages and stuff, the messengers, and sometimes I don't get to check those for days or weeks or whatever. I find them on accident. Send it to Woody at realliferealcrime.com. Send all your information. I can promise you I will read it. I can't promise you I'm going to work it, but I'm thinking about doing something new with the hashtag Justice For, where I tell the stories, separate podcast where I tell the stories of these families, right? That's what they want, most of them. So,
that's right. Put a little light on it.
And a lot of you tell me, well, they were cremated. We didn't get an autopsy. Guess what? Parish Forensics is the only place in the state of Louisiana where you can get an independent autopsy done. And you do have that right.
Yep.
So there you go. I'm off my horse.
All right. Until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Mike Agavino.
For Real Life, Real Crime Daily. Peace.
Congrats.